Yo, what is going on? And we're here for another episode of the Sweatshop with your boy King Punch. And we got a great show tonight, bruh. We got to talk about Secret Invasion going on a scroll hunt. We going on a scroll hunt. Look, we going on a scroll hunt for Secret Invasion. Thinking about like who all could be scrolls like right now in the MCU. Then we got to get into Captain Marvel. That trailer came out how I'm feeling about it. I'm a little bit like on the fence on that trailer. So look, I gotta get into it and talk about that. Then we need to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like where they're tracking right now. Like right now, they're saying Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to track below Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Is that good? Is that bad? Let's talk about all that. And then lastly, let's talk some Star Wars, right? Let's get into some Star Wars at the end of the show. Because, bro, like, I know a lot of people are feeling the last episode of The Mandalorian, but, bro, it's just like, just ain't hitting for me like that, bro. So we got to get into all of that. But before we start down that road, let me just say what's up to everybody who's in here early. Like, everybody is in here off there early. Let's say what's up to all of y'all. And yeah, it is time to get sweaty chilling in the basement. Let's say what's up to Jedi Mike. He's the first in the building here. What's up, Jedi Mike? Daniel Fisher, good to see you, brother. Matthew Stunden. I'm terrible at last names. But Matt, what's going on, bruh? Uh Lord Vito in the building. What's popping, bruh? We got Nerd Mafia, got Green Bear in the building. What's going on, bro? Q Bello Music, Quentin, my good friend, what's popping, dog? And then we got chilling in the basement. And it is time to get sweaty because, oh my God, we got Mr. Griffin popping up in here too. What's going on, Mr. Griffin? Salute to you, dog. Look, it's time to get sweaty in it, bit, bro. Because I like really been kind of waiting on the right time to do this. And like I ain't have a guest this week. I ain't really do the good work of trying to schedule a guest as good as I should have. But I ain't have a guest this week. And I was like, it's a good time to really dig into the mystery of the scrolls and secret invasion. And before I like really get in, look, I got like 25 characters, y'all. Hey, I got like 25 characters for us to choose from. And it's about to get real, and it's about to get real sweaty in this jump. Um because like but before we pivot in there, I want to talk about like just the importance of secret invasion and where we're going because right now is just looking like we have Secret Invasion as the series, right? Like it's looking like we might have Secret Invasion. There were like some rumors. I saw like maybe two posts, just two posts. I can't find them again, so I doubt they're true about a Secret Invasion season two. But I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the news and the rumor mill, but the people are talking about Jonathan Majors and things being up in the air with Kang and everything. Like, yo, like if it is true that Marvel, and I'm not getting into Jonathan Majors right now, but if it is true that Marvel is going to be moving on from Jonathan Majors, Secret Invasion is right there. Secret Invasion is like right there to be a storyline for them to dive into because I definitely think the Secret Invasion should be bigger. The scroll should be bigger than a series, right? Like I definitely think that it's something that should be huge. You know what I mean? We're talking about shape shifting people that are turning into our heroes. You got super scrolls, all that stuff happening. You got everything that goes down with the rise of the Dark Avengers and everything of that sort, which to me says that like Secret Invasion can be, should be, and if they're moving on from Kane, likely could be the next big story. That's just in my mind. That's just my little hot take of where we should be headed. Chilling in the basement wants to know is so what's coming first timeline wise, Secret Invasion or the Marvels? I believe they said the Marvels follow right up after Secret Invasion. That's why it was a little bit of a spoiler, just a little bit of a spoiler with that Marvels trailer because we know that Nick Fury survives. A little bit of a bummer there, right? Because we know Nick Fury is good. I mean, honestly, we'll get into that trailer later. They probably could have held that trailer until Secret Invasion came out. But we'll talk about that later because I mean, I know they played things a little bit differently. Like this movie's not coming out until November, and they already put the trailer out for it. And when you think about like Love and Thunder, it was like 2 months or like 3 months before they put out a trailer, whatever. But either way, I digress. I digress. Secret Invasion should be a big story, and I'm hoping that it will be bigger than just this series. Because like here's how I would like for it to go down. I don't want to necessarily see any of our major superheroes be revealed as Skrulls in Secret Invasion, right? Now we have throughout the main series, like throughout the main like season, right? Now we have had rumors of Secret Invasion being like shooting a post-credit scene with Nick Fury over there in Switzerland, you know, and people are thinking that could be a little bit of a surprise. I think it could be a little bit of a surprise too, maybe a little bit of a cameo, if you will, for us. That is a place where I would like to see a superhero be revealed to be a scroll. Just the super, like just in that type of format. Like if the superhero is dead and they turn into scroll form, that is something I like to see. And it don't even got to be like a real big superhero. It could be something that's like shallow as Frogman, something, it doesn't have to be a monumental superhero for this post credit scene, but I would love to see a post credit scene where we have a hero who is dead and is in scroll form, hinting that what we're heading into next is that like Nick Fury thought he handled what was going on in Secret Invasion, however that ends. That should be a signal that we're not done with this. That should be bigger, and that we should be looking at our superheroes, what have you. So, with that being said, with that out the way, like let's go ahead and get into it. Going down the scroll list, we see it here. We got your 100, probably, maybe, nah, hell nah. All right, and that's where we are right now. So we got 25. Coachella Coastal was popping, bro. We got 25 of them. We're going to start in no particular order, but really, I just went and grabbed like heroes I could think of. Some of these people are government agents. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Government agents, heroes, uh, Sharon Carter. Just we pick people like that to get them in there. LBZ in the building. What is going on, bro? Kang is a scroll. I mean, he does have a scroll Kang in the Council of Kangs, but you know, maybe they can work it out. Maybe they can work it out to just make Kang a whole time scroll and you can recast him. But either way, we're gonna start in no particular order here. What's going on, Sozin's comment? Your money's on Fury. Fury's look, let me get out the comments because Fury is already a scroll. Fury was already a scroll in No Way Home. We don't know how long he's been a scroll, not in No Way Home, and Far From Home. We don't know how long he's been a scroll. We don't know when he is when he not a scroll, unless Talos is in the same room. Um, but either way, I digress. Sozin got me in here, getting distracted. So let's start off with we're just gonna go in order here. Let's start off with Doctor Strange. Where do y'all see Doctor Strange fitting in? Hmm? Hmm? I'm gonna go with Doctor Strange as a hell nah. Here's the reason why. Doctor Strange is too smart. Doctor Strange is too smart to be a scroll. He's too smart to be duped into being a scroll. On top of that, Doctor Strange has his own things going on. Like who do we even know if Doctor Strange chat? Like let me know, chat. Is Doctor Strange even on Earth, bruh? Like, is Doctor Strange even on Earth for me to be like, yo, homie's a scroll? I don't think so. So we gotta move on. That's an easy like hell nah, he's not. What's going on, Parker Thrips? What's going on, bruh? Next, we got the Hulk. Now, the Hulk is an interesting one for me, bro. Because could this explain it all? Could this explain what the hell we've been getting from the Hulk since Endgame? Could this explain what we were seeing from the Hulk and She-Hulk, right? Like, especially as him being like smart Hulk, it'll be a lot easier for them to pull this off. It got me thinking, bro. Because like we already know, like there's some form of super scrolls, and like we got to get in. I don't know if the stream right now is the best time to get into like the Cold Obsidian rumors and all that shit. But with Hulk right now, I'm gonna just go with nah. It's not all the way hell nah. It's not like I'm putting all my chips to say that he's not one, but I cannot, just for the simple fact that the Hulk has been on some very shaky shit. I cannot uh do that. Now, can Skrulls increase their masses that much? So I believe that they can make them do whatever they need to do. Chilling in the basement, they can make them do whatever they need to do in the MCU. Like in my mind, if you're a Super Scroll, you should be able to transform into whatever you need to transform into. And I think they could do that with. Here's the thing, though: gamma radiation does throw a wrench in it. Let me turn off my baby monitor. But I believe they could still like steal his powers and steal his strength. But yeah, he's a nah. And look, let me go ahead and get this out the way too. Like here's how I'm kind of judging these, right? Like one, like have you been acting shaky, bruh? Like there's some people in the MCU that's just been acting shaky, dog. And then two, how easy would it be for Scroll to get you out of there and take your personality? Three, how long have we known you? Like if you're a new character in the MCU, you're more on shaky grounds. How much you been around? Like if you ain't been around a lot and you coming back and popping up on some strong ish, bro, that's a very strong indicator. And yeah, that's like the four I'm going. That's the four I'm going on, right? Like easy acting shaky. Um, how easy is it for the scrolls to come and get you? How long have I known you? And what you been doing? All right. So for those reasons, like even though Doctor Strange, excuse me, allergies effing up. Even though I think like Doctor Strange has been really shaky, like hella shaky, all the way back from No Way Home. I feel like Doctor Strange is he's just like too smart for that. He's too smart to fall for that. I don't see the scrolls having a sorcerer at his level to be able to get him in. All right, now look, let's talk about her, Captain Marvel. I wish, and it's not because of what y'all think. I wish we could put Captain Marvel at a 100. Just for what it is, like at the end of the day, it's not like me personally disliking Bree for everything that she said or whatever. Like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck she said that made everybody not like Bree. But, but I'm just not a fan of her, dog. All right, so like that's the fifth element is if I really fuck with you. Like that's the fifth wild card element. Like, do I fuck with you? And I really don't. But out of the sake of the story, like she's hip to the scrolls already. They're already friends. Like it's already that cool. I will put her at a might be because I think that she's so arrogant that she could be susceptible to being captured by the scrolls. Also, as well, like for a super scroll to take her power and to pose as her would be like the ultimate queen move, right? So I would put Captain Marvel as a might be, bruh. I don't know about y'all, what y'all think, but I might put her at a might be. Let me go ahead and go. All right, we got some more interesting ones here. I don't want to use up all my good ones early, but we'll go with Anika. All right, look, this is how I came up with this one. Oh man, I might have to go get some water. My allergies are really effing up. This is how I came up with this one. I thought like who in Wakanda could be a scroll? Like if Wakanda were to be infiltrated and have somebody become a scroll in the nation of Wakanda, which would make sense to have at least one person in Wakanda be a scroll. Who could it be? Like I don't think it would be Shuri. Shuri is closely guarded. Um, Nakia was interesting, and I maybe should have put her on here because Nakia is a spy, and like that makes it very. I feel like that does make it easy to get rid of, but also it kind of makes it hard at the same time because they pick up on you. Like she pick up on the. I feel like she pick up on scrolls pretty quickly. So I went with Anika. She's new. She's out of the Dormology order. I might have to put her at a probably. All right. So like, if there was one to be, if there was one out of Wakanda to be a scroll, I would go with Anika. Like if I put more thought into Wakanda, like M'Baku could possibly be one, but he's the king. Like I don't see the king being taken out and becoming a scroll. Like I just cannot see that happening. Now, like if we, especially what we saw in Captain Marvel, like if Secret Invasion could change my mind. Like if I could see really how cunning these scrolls are, that could really change my mind. But for right now, I'm gonna go with Eniga. Eniga. All right, up next we got Hank Pym. Got her as a might be, hell nah for M'Baku. I feel that, Coachella. Wouldn't make her more interesting for sure if she was. Yeah, it would though. It would. All right. So let's see who we want to go with next. Let's go with Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop, I might put at a might. I'll put at a nah because I feel like her backstory is solid, and I feel like she's someone that the Scrolls would not go after right now. Now, the only reason I won't say hell nah is because we don't really know her. We've only known her for one season. She is hella skilled with the bow and arrow. I'm just not like at the point to say that the Scrolls would even care enough. It's more so to the point like, do the Scrolls even care enough to to take her identity, right? Like, what would they get? What would the Scrolls get out of being Kate Bishop? Like, it's not there for me. So let's see. Let's go back up to the top here. We got Sharon Carter, bruh. First of all, let me go on a whole spiel about Sharon Carter. First of all, I'm going to put her right here at a Hundun. I'm going to put her right there at a Hundun. All right. Here's my shit about Sharon Carter. To me, Sharon Carter is definitely the power broker. I mean, not the power broker. Like, I do not think Sharon Carter is the actual power broker. I think somebody is above Sharon Carter. But whether that be the case, whether she is the power broker or not, this bitch is a scroll, bruh. She's an absolute scroll because she is after something that is completely different. Like her motives have changed. She said it was the blip or whatever she went through the blip or what have you. That don't shake out all the way to me. She fits. All right. What did I say my things were? One, are you shaky? Sharon Carter is shaky as a mug right now, bro. Sharon Carter is shaky, dog. Two, how long have we known her? We know Sharon for a good amount of time. Like we go back with Sharon, so we can't really take that into consideration that much. But have we seen you? We ain't seen Sharon for a while, and then she came back. Oh, you can't see it after Civil War. Yeah, I am forgetting after Civil War. But even then, she knew what she was getting into in Civil War. I get it though. Like she's out there on her own. That maybe makes it easier for them to take her. And that leads into number four. How easy can you overtake them? It's very easy to come over with Sharon Carter and get her. I feel like, especially if you're a scroll, you know, cause you send like two, three scrolls after her, you can easily take her identity and pull that ish off. And here's what's more interesting to me is what Sharon Carter is after at the current moment. She's after weapons. She's after weapons, government access. She was hands on with the serum. Here's the thing: the serum could be something that gets used by the scrolls to end up making the super scrolls. That's been one of my theories. Is that like the serum plays a factor into possibly making super scrolls in the series. So with that in place, also adding on the rumors of what we've heard for Armor Wars about how you got the Kree, the Scrolls, these alien races coming after Tony's tech for power. To me, that leads Sharon Carter to be right in the mix for that. So Sharon Carter is 100% a scroll. Sharon Carter is 100% a scroll. Feige. Don't go change it now because she's 100% a scroll. Absolute facts. Absolutely. Um, it says talented Mr. Griffin. We got 100 from Sozin's comment. I can see that, and so I can see that after after Civil War she could change. Then 100% personality. Just Fernie. Are you a scroll, bruh? I know I'm not a scroll. Apparently, I'm Kang the YouTuber. Apparently, so I know I'm not a scroll. But are you a scroll? You might be a scroll. Super Soldier Serum is a never ending MacGuffin. Yes, but it's one that I'm here for. It's one that I'm here for. All right. So the damage control guy. Again, I would have to go with probably with damage control. I don't know his name. You know what? Let me look him up real quick. Who's this damage control guy? He doesn't have a name. Tommy Campbell? Is that the guy who plays him, or is that either way? All right, Tommy Campbell. Tommy. Tommy is definitely a scroll. Well, probably a scroll. I got probably, but I think he's probably a scroll. What's going on, Jared? Because again, we don't know, homie. He's not shaky. Like I will give him that. Like he's not shaky. His personality ain't all over the place. Um. So yeah, he's not shaky, bro. But we ain't known this motherfucker for a long time, and we don't really see a lot of this dude through his everyday life. We just see him pop up when something about weapons or power comes up. He pops up, and damage control is a perfect place for Skrulls to infiltrate because, well, after what happened with the Vulture and everything, like I don't know how lax they would have been with their security, but you don't have high level people. I'm pretty sure you don't have high level people working in damage control. Pretty sure damage control is an easy way to work. And the way you work in, like for real, like the way you infiltrate as a scroll, you start off getting the easiest one out, you get your foot in the door. And then as a scroll, you start just constantly working your way up, taking people out and becoming a scroll until you get up to someone like my man's Tommy here. Yeah, the one from Miss Marvel. Yeah, I bet you she could be a scroll. Yeah, like people in damage control. I feel like damage control is very, how do I put it? Easy money. It's easy money for scrolls to infiltrate. A lot of return comes from being in damage control. There's a lot of value out of being in damage control. So I can see damage control definitely being damage control and definitely being one. Trinity is in the building. Like we could definitely get started. What's going on? Second Street Marvel Trinity. What's happening, brother? All right, let's see. I want to knock out some easy ones. Liv Tyler, Betty Ross. I want to say she might be a scroll. Betty Ross might be a scroll. Again, I can't even say she's acting shaky because we ain't seen her. We known her for a long time, but we ain't seen her for a long time, and she about to pop back up. On top of that, she is someone who can definitely get got. And here's the thing: Betty Ross could be a way in for them to get to the Hulk. Betty Ross could be a way for them to get to the Hulk. I'm gonna throw that out there. If I think the Hulk is a nah, he's not completely ruled out just because of how tough it would be to take out the Hulk. If there is a way to take out the Hulk, I would go with Betty. Also, too, we know Betty is coming back for Captain America 4. I'd much rather see her be the Red Hulk, but I think she might be. It's possible that she could be a scroll in my mind. Y'all are nah on it. Y'all are nah on Betty. Cyber Coastal says he's a nah. Oh, shit, what did I do here? Cyber Coastal says he's a nah on Betty. Talented Mr. Griffin said nah. Okay, okay, we got one. We got one. She could be a scroll. Betty gotta be a scroll. Why else would Banner totally forget about her while he's trying to play hide and exactly. Exactly. She gotta be a scroll. Give me a second, guys. Y'all, let me run and grab some water. It's a noun, Becky. You think she could be for sure? All right. Let me be right back. That was a rookie ass mistake. Rookie ass mistake. You guys to have your water. A rookie ass mistake. Rookie ass mistake, man. You gotta have your water. I ain't want to be in here coughing up the whole time. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah. All right, we got that out the way. Let's look at Hayward here. I'm gonna go with a nod for Hayward. I'm gonna go with the nod for Hayward. Hayward is just a straight up dick. I mean, like I can't. He's such a straight up dick that I can't just 100% rule him out to not be a scroll. But Hayward, he's just too much of a dick to be a scroll. Like I don't think scrolls can be dicks like that, bro. I'm gonna have to go nah for Hayward. What Frank say here about Liv Tyler? He said, I think the leader is going to get Hulk by turning her to Red Hulk or something. Possibly, possibly. Coachella Coastal says Hayward might be. Hayward might be. Hayward might be. I don't know, man. Like he might be. Like, all right, is Hayward shaky? I don't think he's shaky. He's so steadfast on what he fucking wants, right? And he's gung ho. Like, I don't think a scroll would have handled the Wanda situation the way that Hayward did. I don't think a scroll would handle the Wanda situation like Hayward did. Now we haven't known him for a long time. We haven't seen him since WandaVision. But also too, like you got so many scrolls working within Sword. I would have a hard time believing there are bad scrolls in Sword, right? I would have a real hard time believing there are bad scrolls in Sword. So I don't know. I don't know. Dang, Mr. Griffin thinks he's a might be for the Westview. Wasn't he punished for the Westview situation? I don't know. I think he would have got out of the Westview situation pretty scot free because of he was arrested, wasn't he? Yeah, I forgot he was arrested. He was arrested. Something happened to him that he got in trouble. All right, I think I've knocked out the lower level ones. I got Bucky on here twice for some reason. But let's start getting a little bit more real. What do y'all think about John Walker? Do you think John Walker could be a scroll? I'm gonna go with the nah. Like for real. And by the way, this is like on the fly here. Like I ain't really go through these. But I'm gonna go with a nah. Like I'm not gonna go with the hell nah. Brett, what is popping, bro? It has been a minute. It has been a minute. Josh CV says Captain Marvel would be crazy. Would explain why she's been going and came back from nowhere. Like where does she even live? Exactly, bro. Like I think it's possible that she could be one. And it's like she's so arrogant. She's so arrogant, bro, that I think she could fall into that trap pretty easily. So yeah, I definitely think that Captain Marvel could be a scroll. He's Captain America. Yeah. No, he's U.S. agent. The world needs an agent. This is like we need a U.S. agent, man. I didn't say Captain America at the end of the day. He's U.S. agent. So I'm gonna say no one more. Oh, talented Mr. Griffin. Talented Mr. Griffin says no on Walker because you think we would see him lose form. You know what? That answer right there is gonna make me go to hell nah. You're right. He would become completely different. Mhm. He would become completely different. Yeah, and Captain Marvel does follow right up with this follow the Secret Invasion up. It kind of hurt his position, his character's position to be one. Yeah, yeah. You're right. I'm gonna have to go hell no with him. That was a good call, chat. That was a good call, Mr. Griffin. Big facts, Mr. Griffin. All right, let's keep it rolling though. Want to do him, him, him? Yo, can I just keep it 100? I would love to put him up here. Y'all remember my Fifth Element? My Fifth Element, like, man, like, do I really like fuck with you as a character? Like, I like, yo, I have absolute respect for Anthony Mackie. Like, I think he's a cool dude or what have you. I'm just not feeling Anthony Mackie as a lead character in the MCU as Captain America. But this would have to be this would have to be after. Look, I'm gonna just say keep an eye on Captain America, bro. I would love for him to be a scroll. I'm gonna go with the might be. I'm gonna go with the might be. because I think he is a good candidate. The only reason I'm not gonna go 100% on is because he is Cap. Like he is one of those people they're gonna want to let like pump up. But also we have to think about the shock value, right? Like there will have to be some scrolls that we would never think would be a scroll. Like you do realize like at some point we will have to get at least one scroll that's gonna be a nah or hell nah. So like I think he's a might be. I think he's a might be. We would just have like one thing's for sure, he was not a scroll in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right. Like I'm gonna just go ahead and knock that out the window. Like he was not a scroll in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Cause ain't no scroll gonna give a full length sermon like he did in that finale. Ain't no scroll gonna let all of these fights go to the side. Ain't no scroll going to do some type of flippity flip bullshit and not throw a punch at Carly Morgenthau in the season finale. So, with that being said, if Sam was a scroll, he wasn't a scroll in Falcon and the Winter Soldier because only Sam would act the way he did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right. I so that like, get that out of the way. But moving forward, I am interested in like what would that do for Captain America 4? To like be rooting for Sam throughout Captain America 4, but then for it to be revealed, like maybe not in Captain America 4, but maybe in Thunderbolts, whichever one comes first to last, like for that to be revealed that he's a scroll. That we were rooting for a scroll the whole time. And that Harrison Ford and his squad were actually on the right side trying to go against the scroll. That would be a wild ass like head turning reveal. And I think that like again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, if Jonathan Majors remains shaky, like if they move on from Jonathan Majors, they are in place to pump up Secret Invasion to be a phase level event, right? To spend a whole couple years on Secret Invasion, they are at the perfect place to pivot and pump up Secret Invasion in the MCU. And doing something like making Sam be a scroll is something that would like be fucking earth shattering, like turn the world upside down type of shit. So I'll put him at might be. A lot of my like the number five reason. Remember the number five? Like if I just don't fuck with you like that as a character. A lot of that got to do with him being at might be. So I'm gonna leave him at might be here. I'm gonna leave him at might be here. Let's see what y'all gotta say though. Cap is not one, bro. Oh, come on, Coachella. You give me a heart. Coachella, I don't think we've been on the same page once in this bitch, except for Peggy Carter. Cap and the Scrolls his rep. He would be perfect for infiltration. He would be perfect for infiltration, chilling in the basement. Like you don't even need a super scroll to be Sam, bruh. You yo, getting a super scroll to be Sam would be giving this man too much favors, dog. Like you don't even need a super scroll to be Sam, bro. He's revealed to be a scroll, and they make him a super scroll, so his cap can have more powers, bruh. I would not want him to ever turn back into being another scroll. Not super hot. Exactly, exactly. Falcon. Hey, you feel me, lonely. You feel me, LB. You feel me. I understand why you don't like him, but you gotta accept him. I'm not accepting that comment. Trev! What's going on, Trev? Trev dropping in the building. It's good to see you, brother. My man says Don Cheadle's definitely. Oh, yeah, we're getting to him. We're getting to Donald. To Donald Cheadle. I forget how long the scrolls come to Earth. It was what, 1990s? So they've been on Earth around since like it was like 1992, right? Or something like that. Or was it 1980s? When did Captain Marvel happen? Was it 1988 or 1992? I think it was 1992. Now I am interested to know like do scrolls age? So like if you have kids who came in here, it was 1997. Thanks, Trev. If you do have scrolls who like came in here, like would they grow up as like you had a kid scroll and the kid scroll took the form of a kid's body? Like, would that kid grow up as the kid? I'm interested in that. So you think War Machine is a scroll? We'll get the roadie. We'll get the roadie. Sam? Yeah, bro. Sam. Maybe getting the shield with Scroll Wilson. All right. All right, where we at? They'll probably make Sam the MC. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. All right, back to Scroll Hunt. Let's go with Shang-Chi. I'm gonna give Shang-Chi a good old hell nah. Um, actually, I'm gonna give him a nah. I don't want to say hell nah because he has the 10 rings. And the 10 rings are something of value that they could go after. So they have a reason to go after him. I just don't feel him being a scroll. I just don't 100% feel him like just on the gut feeling like this dude's a scroll. Shang-Chi is like one of my favorite, becoming like my favorite MCU dude in phase 4. So with that being said, like I don't want to see him be a scroll. I want to see him kick some scroll ass and not be a scroll. I want to see Shang-Chi fight Sam. I want to see Shang-Chi fight Sam and reveal him to be a scroll. That's what I want to see. Shang-Chi, you think Shang-Chi is a scroll for sure? Why, bruh? Oh, Coachella, I think we just going to nah for sure. Shang-Chi, nah, Coachella or Cyber Coast, my bad. Like, bruh, nah, like, dog. All right, come on. Hell no for Shang-Chi. Exactly. Shang-Chi was a nobody. He was a ballet. Exactly. I think he's not a scroll. The only thing that could make him be a scroll. Oh, nah, I agree with no. All right, bet. All right, Coachella. Um, the only reason why I think he is a nah and not a hell no is because he does have the rings and that does add value for the scrolls in whatever way. Kamala Khan, I'm gonna go with hell nah. Much like, and not to say like all of these new characters are not scrolls, but again, why would they want Kamala? Now they could like shit, like they could be going after him. Like the Bengals are really starting to look more and more like Creed Tech, especially after what we see in if not Creed Tech, something that the Creeds have gotten their hands on, right? So it's possible that they're aware that the scrolls are aware of the Bengals. It's possible, but I just don't see them having any thoughts to go after Kamala. If Kamala were to be a scroll, she would have to become a scroll after afterwards. And Trev, we did talk about damage control. Homie up here, I got is probably. But damage control, we said definitely feels like I didn't think about adding her in there, but damage control is definitely an organization that I feel like is probably heavily infiltrated with scrolls. Like maybe every other person in there is scrolls. Um, but she was in. Are we thinking about the same lady that was from Miss Marvel too, the head from the OC? Definitely a hell nah for her. Yeah, I'm with you. It's a hell nah for me. What's going on, Justin? What's going on, bro? Personally, don't think a bunch of heroes will I personally don't think a bunch of heroes will be scrolls. Maybe one or two, but I think most of the scrolls at the beginning will be people in political power. That's how I would like for it to be in just kind of give you TLDR. That's how I would really like for it to be in the Secret Invasion series. But again, like if we were to pivot, which I think we very well could pivot, like I don't know if it's going to happen. Like it's just speculation. Like shit's up in the air with Jonathan Majors. If we could pivot to make Secret Invasion a bigger show, bigger like story, and it could be a bigger story anyway. Like even if you don't spend a whole phase on it, this is something that they could build on outside of just Secret Invasion, right? I would like for it to be something to where this scroll, like the scrolls are political figures in the show. But then you get to the point where in the, like a post credit scene, we see a superhero. So like we think everything is done until Nick Fury goes into the post credit scene, and we got a superhero laying on the table who is a scroll. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a huge superhero. It doesn't have to be like a big name. It could be somebody as small as Frogman. You know what I mean? Like somebody that was in She-Hulk. It could be like one of those She-Hulk cameo characters that could end up being a scroll. But just to show that She-Hulk, I mean, just to show that a scroll, damn, I should put She-Hulk up there. Just to show that a that a superhero could be a scroll and lead us in outside of that Secret Invasion series. I'm sorry, I got really blabbled and lost out of all of that shit. The current president that Ross replaces could be, but I'll get to why I think possibly. I'll get why I think I have a bigger choice for that one. For like the one big political figure or what have you to be one. She-Hulk is a scroll. Look, I knew as soon as I said She-Hulk, somebody was gonna say She-Hulk is a scroll. I saw that coming. Um, how could you ever be sure the scrolls are really gone? Because eventually they are gonna make like some type of tech to really be able to monitor the scrolls. Like they're gonna eventually find a way to figure out who are scrolls and who are not. We're 40 minutes in on this. I need to hurry up on this shit. All right, so we got what, one, two, three, four. I think we got 11 left because I got two on here twice. So you want to just go ahead and knock this one out, Bucky? I'm gonna put Bucky. It might be. I'm gonna put Bucky. It might be a scroll. Now again, this would be something that happens after. This would be something that happens after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But to me, like with all of the fucked up mind shit that's going on with Bucky, like I know he's clean, he's cleared or whatever, at peace. But I think it would be wouldn't it just be great character development? Like, wouldn't it just be cool to see Bucky go through some more shit? Right? Like just push Bucky through some more shit. And have him like have to come out of damn, like these people are really acting as me as a scroll. It'd be the second time somebody's taking his identity and this effed up stuff. But Bucky would be the perfect person for a scroll to take and to cause havoc, like to wreak havoc because he's the Winter Soldier. Like he'd be like, damn, we have to get this man again. And it caused distrust and everything that's going on. If you're looking at a destabilization effort, Bucky, let him live. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. I don't want to let him live, dog. Gotta let him go through it. Kingpin is my best bet for a scroll. Why so? You gotta let me know why so. And Trev, I did think Anika, yeah, yeah, Trev, Anika, right up here. She's a probably for me. Anika, she's a probably for a scroll for me. She's a probably for a scroll. Monica Rambeauty, I'm just gonna say they're never, hell no, they would never make her a scroll. Never. Mm-mm. She's not a scroll. No, never couldn't be. And even if she was a scroll, I deny it. That was easy. Next question. Yelena Belova. Medical probably. Like I was riding the fence with Yelena. I was riding the fence with Yelena, but I think she's somebody who could very easily be a scroll. Even all the way back and when we saw and when she was having too many emotional moments in Black Widow. But I was saying Hawkeye, she could have been a scroll. And when I say that right now, it's gonna ring a bell because there's gonna be someone on this list who connects with with uh with Yelena Belova that I think is the scroll queen. All right. So it's very possible that very possible. I say probably that she's a scroll. How about Wongers? The Sorcerer Supreme. Where would you put the Sorcerer Supreme? Hmm? I put him at a might be. Here's the thing. Somebody at Carmitage is a scroll. And remember how I said, like, you start off at the bottom and work your way up. Some like I don't think it's that far fetched for Wong to be a scroll. Now, remember, like my what I'm saying, or if you're acting shaky, I don't think Wong has been acting shaky at all. Wong has been more. Wong has been Wong. Like I don't think Wong has been acting shaky at all. We known Wong for a long time. We've seen Wong a lot. So like there are two strong reasons for him to not be a scroll. However, however, I think Wong could be taken over. Maybe I'm underestimating Wong a lot. It is what it is. But I think he could easily be captured. I mean, I really fuck with Wong, but there's value in having the Sorcerer Supreme become that. And there could be a way for like I don't know if they ever make Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme again. Um but yeah, like I I could just see Wong possibly being a scroll. Let's see here. Wong might be okay. Thank you. I thought it was gonna be alone. I thought I was gonna be alone on Wong. Trev says hell no. He could do magic, but the scroll can pull off some magic though. Wongers is a no for me, says Parker. Wong is a hell no. Y'all not feeling Wong being no. But his lady friend that she met in She-Hulk is definitely a scroll. She could definitely be a scroll. That is true. I don't know if she's still around. Like I don't know if he cuffing her or not, but she could definitely be a scroll. And to be real, what's her name? Madison. I can see him pulling Madison in as like a project, right? Like, look, we're gonna teach you these mystic arts, and by the time we see Madison next time, she's gonna be in the fit, doing some magic and shit. Kingpin died and came back a scroll on Hawkeye or something. That could be possible, bro. Kingpin could be a scroll. I want Wallen to be a bit more badass than that. He's supposed to be Sorcerer Supreme. Scroll should be able to take him out so easy. That is true. That is true, though. I do like that, Trev. I do like that, though. I do like that. All right, so we just went on down the list here. Can I just throw this one in the trash? I'm just gonna put it right here just to get them off. Hawkeye. I know. I know. Like if you said, who was it that said that about Bucky? Was it LB? Was it LB that said Bucky been through enough? Let that man live. I know. I know. Like you gotta let my man's live. But Hawkeye is damn sure one that I think could be easy. Like, not to say Hawkeye is a pushover or nothing like that, because like I think it does take some work for these ones to be. What's going on, Smokey? I do think it takes some work for these like people to take over these superheroes and become a scroll, right? Like we don't even know how that's really going to take place in the MCU. Like when they take place of Jeremy Renner's gonna make his way back though. Jeremy Renner's gonna make his way back. I don't know. I'm not saying like these, and again, I'm not saying these people in the show. These are people who I think like after the show could be revealed to be scrolls. I'm gonna put him at probably. I had him at like when I put him on the list, like I'm doing these things off the cuff, but like I might definitely put a probably on him. Mockingbird was a scroll in this, yeah, that she was a scroll. You're right. She was a scroll in Secret Invasion. And honestly, that kind of influenced me to go with Hawkeye, like on the list. I didn't think to include her. But you all are mentioning some very good like side characters, like off the characters that I'm talking about. I'll mention some very good side characters that could be scrolls and just getting like that intel in, right? Imagine if Tony Stark just comes back out of nowhere, but he's a scroll and he convinces the world that he actually didn't die and that their convention's correct. That would be like bonkers, dog. Fernie, that would be bonkers. I don't know how people would feel about it because anytime like fuck, like am I short? Like I mentioned Tony Stark coming back to be an 838 evil Iron Man. Tony Stark never coming back. Tony Stark never coming back. Tony Stark dead is done. People like it ruined Tony, bruh. People don't know shit. That would be dope, but like, the world would be set on fire, dog. The world would get set on fire, but I think that would be dope as shit, bro. One person I did want to add on here though was Ironheart. Ironheart Like, I was like, she could when I first said Ironheart, I was like, she could be a scroll, and I forgot to add her on here. I was like, Ironheart definitely could be a scroll, but Ironheart way too like black, bruh. Ain't no way a scroll gonna be talking the way Ironheart was in Black Panther. Ironheart, the way Ironheart was talking in Black Panther was too black for Black Panther. Ain't no way in hell that she could be that. Let's go with just Nick Fury. I just want to pop this out here. I want to say hell no. Like, I don't think we will. All right, that's like a. I was about to say real hot take to say I don't think we will ever see Nick Fury as a scroll again. But my thoughts are, or a scroll version of Nick Fury. But my thoughts are that scrolls can't be black. They green, Trev. They green, Trev. But nah, she was just talking with too much shit. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. He did mimic Fury. Fury don't be Fury don't talk like Fury don't talk like a high schooler though. You know, like Fury don't got that slang with him. But you got a point. You got a point. But Fury wasn't talking with that fire in him like that though. Especially like Fury was a little off in No Way Home too, bro. Like Fury was a little off. Like even when Talos was being Fury, he was like, "This isn't your Earth." Like you know what I mean? He got those little lines in there, like, and that's Talos, right? Think about just a regular person, like a regular scroll trying to be. I just I don't see it. I don't see it. Um, what was on his tombstone? I don't know what. I forgot what was on his tombstone. What was on his tombstone? Wasn't it an homage to Pulp Fiction? I forgot the line, but wasn't it an homage, like an Easter egg for Pulp Fiction on Fury's tombstone? Yes. All right, I caught it. Bet it was a Pulp Fiction quote. I forgot. I just forgot what it was. Um, but like again, back on track. Like I don't see Fury. Especially, I think Talos is gonna die in this series. I don't think Fury is gonna allow anybody else to be a scroll again. I know it was like Matthew something, won't it? Telling Mr. Griffin, there was a Bible verse they quoted. I think it was like Matthew something, on it or something like that. Um, but either way, let's talk about this dude. I'm gonna say nah for Peter Parker. I'm gonna say nah for Peter Parker because simply because like one, nobody knows who Peter Parker is right now. So like I think that like kind of takes away some of the value of going after Peter Parker. I feel like it's like, oh, it's Ezekiel. I thought it was Matthew. Either way, I thought it was if he was still Peter Parker, like if that spell never happened, I could definitely see Peter Parker being like being more of a might be, right? But just the fact that like he's basically only Spider-Man at this point, I'm going to go with a nah. You're right. Let's go with a hell nah. Coachella Coastal Cyber. Yeah. Sony wouldn't let that shit happen. Sony would never let that shit happen. Now, one way, oh, here's why I had that nah. The one thing that could work in the favor of being a scroll as Spider-Man is that it is Spider-Man. Like, you can have two different Spider-Mans pull up and he won't take his mask off. He doesn't want to reveal he's Peter. On top of that, you can have one Spider-Man in another spot and another Spider-Man in another spot, and I don't think anybody would ever think shit to say about it because you just see Spider-Man so much out in New York. So I think it's very easy for you to have an imposter Spider-Man go around. So that's why I say like, nah. Ooh, Happy Hogan. I should have added him. He could be one. He could be one. Trev coming in here with a gas as usual. All right. Hank Pym. Where y'all at with him? I'm gonna go maybe with Hank Pym. I know he was one in the comics. Running down a list. Is he acting a little shaky? Everybody was acting shaky in Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? So he could be one. I'm going might be with him. Oh, y'all are high on him being one? The only thing that does cause me pause is the one memory that he had in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean in Quantumania. He had a long memory that dated back. I think it's a memory that he wouldn't know who it is. Like that Skrull wouldn't know or Skrull wouldn't remember. Other than that, I think he's a strong might being a strong candidate. But he don't have but does he have full control of the quantum tech? I mean, like, are they studying it? Is he like just is he letting them get deep as they can to figure shit out? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a long form type of thing, Fernie. I think that can be something to explain. Like, he's waiting a long game to see how far they get. But she did make the tech to go to the quantum realm though. Well, at least the tech is already there because you just shrink enough to go to the quantum realm. You just had to make the tech to get back out, I guess. He couldn't have been a scroll to after the blip. That is facts. Scott's daughter could be an excuse why they changed the actress. I thought about that, and that's a perfect segue into Rhodey. Here's where I say nah on Rhodey. I'm not gonna say hell nah. And this was more so of like a prediction, right? Like this was more so of a prediction because we know Ross is in the show, and we know Rhodey is in the show. Is Ross in the show? I said we know Ross. Like I think Ross is in the show. Um, here's where excuse me, y'all. Here's where it's more of a prediction with Rhodey because everybody got their eyes set on Rhodey. I think the trailer is trying to set you up to not trust Rhodey. And the thing is, that shit is just too obvious for me. So like, while all of these other ones are kind of like throwing at the wall, like thinking that it could be or might be, I think like when you're talking about Rhodey, it has more weight because we already know he's in the show, right? I'm just going with nah. Like I think Rhodey, I think Rhodey is one just way too obvious. Like too many people are saying it. I don't think it's gonna be those. I don't think it's gonna be those like obvious ones to be scrolls. Now, would I be shocked if he comes out to be a scroll? And like, would that make me have questions if Rhodey is a scroll? Hell yeah. That would make me have serious questions if Rhodey was a scroll. What about this one? Like, you know how in the Secret Invasion they were playing games with Tony Stark and he was like, am I a scroll? Am I not a scroll? That could be something that they do with Rhodey leading into Armor Wars. Cal, you got a point, but I'm gonna roll with the list. You got a point, Kyle, but I'm gonna roll with the list. But but yeah, like it's just a little bit too obvious for me. Rhodey has been one of the most solid men in the MCU, other than the fact from when he went from being Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. Also, too, like I'm just not like a fan of them using a scroll. I'm not a fan of them like using the scroll as an excuse for recast. I'm just not like to me, recasting is not anything that should be noticed in a movie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it looks different to us, but that looks like the same motherfucker to the people in the movies. Yeah, he was light skinned in the last movie, but in this movie he dark skinned. He always been dark skinned. You know what? They might as well just like put them like go back and put Rhodey in Iron Man 1. Put Don Cheadle in Iron Man 1. Like, you know, do that whole AI shit, like get rid of Terrence Howard, put Rhodey in, and it never happened. They should do that. I mean, of course, if you got the DVD, you gonna always have it. But it'd be like the Star Wars special edition shits or whatever they did with Star Wars when they upgraded the shits. They should do that with Iron Man. Just go back in there, take out Terrence Howard, put Rhodey in that bitch. Put put Don Cheadle back in that bitch. But nah. Let's go Everett Ross here. Everett Ross is someone who I am pretty sure y'all have at a 100. I am pretty sure a lot of y'all got Everett Ross in here as a 100. Am I right? Am I right? I'm gonna probably go with Brawley. I'm gonna go with Brawley because one like Everett Ross. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stick with Brawley. All right, Everett Ross. He doesn't strike me as someone who is after anything. He got his life saved by the Wakanda. He doesn't strike me as someone to be like trying to get any armor, trying to get any value. Like if you think about what he was doing with the Wakandans in Wakanda Forever, and I'm actually talking myself down to say, nah. If you think about what he was doing, unless he got took over after Wakanda Forever, then that's a different story. But based on what we see right now, if you think about what Ross was doing in Wakanda Forever, he would be inclined to do as much as he can with the Wakandans. Like, if Ross was really a scroll, he would be trying to get in even better with the Wakandans. So I'm gonna go with a noun Ross just based off of his behavior. Now he is someone who I think would bring a shock value. Like, all right, Sharon, I think would definitely bring like some like what type of shit, right? Anika, um, damage control Tommy. I don't think anybody would be like, excuse me, man, these allergies fucking me up. I don't think anybody would be like, oh my god, they're scrolls. Maybe Anika just because she's Wakandan, but like I don't think anybody would be like blown away that they're scrolls. Hawkeye people would be definitely blown away that he's a scroll. But Yelena, like, I think it'd be kind of a mid reaction too. All right. Ross, I think, would hit if he was be revealed to be a scroll. Just because what we know about Ross, right? I think it would hit for him to be a scroll. I'm just not there. Again, because just how he doesn't seem ambitious for anything, bro. Like he doesn't like he's a cool, good dude, bro. Like he doesn't seem ambitious for anything. Now, I saved her, and if you can think about why I saved her, I think she's 100% the damn scroll. And not only do I think she's 100% a scroll, I think she's the damn scroll queen. I think Val Ventessa Di Fontaine, Val Contessa Di Fontaine, I think she's 100% a fucking scroll. And indeed, the scroll queen. Because everything that this bitch does is ambitious. Her whole rise to power and shit, like she's running every fucking thing, bro. And I can see it coming to a point to where she is at odds with General Ross. All right, like so let's go down theory town here. Like y'all see the scroll list. I definitely think that Val is the queen scroll. And here's why. And we're running down a quick theory here, and then I know we got like three more topics to get into. I want to hang out in Q and A. But Val is definitely a scroll to me because one, she's ambitious. When you think about everything that she's had her hand in, the super soldier sim, right? She's had her hand in the armor, like in going after this vibranium, like getting that type of power, right? And then you look at political, the political power that she has. Those three things go into place to being at a place where I think the Scroll Queen wants to be. To me, it's clear she's a scroll because like she's acting different towards Ross, like in Ant Man in that shit, right? But also too, she's the head of the Thunderbolts. I think she's building up the Avengers to betray the world. So when you think about Yelena Belova, who did well, damn, this might actually make me knock him down a little bit. Actually, I might keep him because if they couldn't knock him, they'll keep him. But who did Val send after him, right? She sent Yelena after him. And here's the thing. Val could be playing this thing to where she's keeping the team, but then like if the team does like if she's not fucking with it, she could easily replace that team. You know what I mean? Like she could easily replace somebody like Yelena. She has enough access to Yelena to where she could capture her and put a scroll in her place. I see Trev, Taskmaster. Whatever Taskmaster comes back as is a scroll. And Taskmaster, what? She's supposed in Taskmaster supposed to be in the Thunderbolts too on that team under the control of Val. Now listen, like Val still has humans on her team that she feels like she can manipulate. But where I see this going down is it comes to a point to where Val and Thunderbolt Ross are at odds. So I remember Trev saying that, he thinks that somebody's going to kill the president. The president is revealed to be a scroll, which could be the case. But I would like for the president to actually just die, like just be assassinated by a scroll, maybe. And then, maybe be assassinated by a scroll. But long story short, I want to see Thunderbolt Ross as Red Hulk kill Val. Similar to how Norman Osborn did the Scroll Queen. Similar to how Norman Osborn did the Scroll Queen, I would like to see Val go down like that and be revealed to be a scroll. Because we go down the line of that shows us how much work and how much infiltration the scrolls got into play. And for Everett Ross to, for Thunderbolt Ross to figure out that his probably right hand woman is a scroll and to kill her with his own hands sets him up to be president. Like I think that's what was propel him to be the president because he reveals that shit. And that sets up your whole like Thunderbolts run and all that shit, right? Or as Red Hulk as president, however they want to play that. But to me, like that's the best way to reveal it. Like I saw somebody that did ask, so like, what about the Khaleesi, Amelia Clark's character being the scroll, being the scroll queen? I don't think she's the scroll queen. In fact, like I do think she would be somebody that plays a high role. But then once Talos dies, I would like to see her come back to the good side of scrolls and like be working with Fury because I think she's someone who is like on the side of yeah, we need to be radical, but then they're pushing that shit too much. And her relationship with Monica Rambeau could come into a very big factor of that, right? Of like not wanting to be too radical in where she's headed. And again, Monica Rambeau is a you better keep the hands off of Monica Rambeau. She ain't no scrub. But yeah, like I feel like she is definitely the scroll queen. Like if I had to guess, she's the scroll queen. But I would also guess that Sharon Carter could be a scroll queen as well. Um, like if they don't want to go that far with Peggy, they could go the route of Sharon Carter if she is indeed the power broker, which I'm not told that she is. But if she is indeed the power broker, they could go with her having enough power to be a scroll queen. But honestly, like whoever the scroll queen is, I would like that whoever they're impersonating to be at the highest level. I wouldn't necessarily want the Scroll Queen to be a superhero, but I would like for the Scroll Queen to be at the highest level of political power to um to be revealed as the Scroll. Let me know what y'all think. Like, give me some names. I think I would still got the Q&A up here, and I'll check that in a second. Of who are scrolls? Who do y'all think are scrolls? 100% Maria Hill's a scroll. I'm definitely with you there. Like, I don't think Maria Hill was ever not a scroll. Like, you know how Fury was like always like we knew Fury was Fury at certain points, but then we realized like Fury is sometimes body swapped out with Talos to be a scroll. Fury was 100% Fury in Winter Soldier. But I don't think Maria Hill has actually ever been an actual person. I think Maria Hill has been a scroll this whole entire time. We think Taskmaster is there right now, but now, yeah, I think to the public, like we probably think Taskmaster is alive. Trap says he thinks Fury assassinates the president. I don't know, like I see the president stuff just going down earlier, bro. I really do. Now it could be interesting with the president, like if the president is killed at the end of Secret Invasion, let's say, like that scene, the president could be a very well good candidate. Like, say the president's injured and he's dying the whole scene. The president, like the whole like series, and he's in the hospital, like, and then he dies at the end of the series. The president could be a very well good candidate to be that like surprise reveal at the end of the series with Fury. That is something for sure that's possible. Um, but yeah, let me see. Let me check in here. Let me pop up out of this Jay. Let me see where y'all at with it. How I go to my where's my Q&A shit? I better have some answers. Ain't nobody answer shit for Q&A, dog. Are y'all like we got the likes in here? Did everybody like the stream? Like the stream. Like yeah, clearly ain't nobody answered the questions in the Q&A. Right? Like, name your top 3 choices for a scroll revealed. Everybody in here throwing out names, but ain't nobody put who they got as a scroll in the shits. Come on, bro. Look, I'm just gonna end this Q&A then. Since y'all don't want to put nothing in the Q&A. What about some street level heroes? What like Daredevil? You think Daredevil could be a scroll? That's possible. Where's the Q&A? You know what the Q&A is? Hold up. Is the Q&A like not there? Are you fucking with me? The Q&A's at the top, ain't it? Or is it because I started early? What? Y'all don't see a Q&A? Damn. For real? Dang. Well, excuse me. Sorry for flipping out on y'all. There's a Q&A. All right, I'll give it one more chance. All right. All right, all right. Let's try it again. Y'all see it this time? Let me unpin this bitch. Do y'all see it this time? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I pinned the message after I did the Q&A. Um, maybe that's what messed it up. All right, so put that in there. We're getting ready to hop into our next topic here because, like, right after Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel, or the Marvels, is supposed to happen, right? I'm gonna slide back over here to this thing. Y'all see? So that's look. I was wilding out on y'all for no reason. I apologize from the bottom of my heart, from the top of my head to the sole of my feet. I apologize for spazzing out on y'all. But with that being said, fill out the damn Q&A and let me know what y'all think. Because we got Red Griffin in here saying Shang-Chi's sister. That's a good one. Shang-Chi's sister could definitely be a scroll. Access to the 10 rings. That's a better choice than Shang-Chi, to be honest with you. Than what I wanted to do. That could be a better choice than Shang-Chi, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Boom. Right, so only Red Griffin's gonna answer that. I mean, that makes sense. This what it is what it is, you know. You know, we ain't never had nothing, but got a lot of new. All right. But anyway, look, let's get back into it. You don't think anyone out of Shang-Chi could be it? I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have someone from each franchise, like, to be revealed to be a Skrull. Happy Hogan was one that I saw I think Trail put in there earlier. Happy Hogan could definitely be one. It's too far removed, but, I mean, he got brought into the Avengers though, Trail. Like, he got brought into the whole Avengers fray with Wong. Ralph Boner, Jimmy Woo, and Sharon Carter. Sharon Carter's definitely gotta be on everybody's list. Um, Brody, Val, Sharon Carter. Like, I think we're gonna see a lot of Sharon Carters. That the first one was from just Fernie. Chilling in the basement came in Brody, Val, and Carter. Parker Thrift says, "Are we only thinking scrolls are have to have sinister motives? Like, I wonder if we might see a Grove take over to do a better job. For example, make She-Hulk more likable." Damn, you got me, bro. Shout out to Parker because I was reading that like I was gonna have to answer a question, but that was really just a She-Hulk shade. And hell yeah, bro, Jay, we still going. What's the angle for scrolls? I think the angle for scrolls is one finding a crib, finding somewhere to stay, but two also weapons, tech, and I think like I feel like the super soldier serum is something that's in there. Like being able to evolve the species with like the like with the super scrolls. I think that's up there. I mean, but still same question. Um, but yeah, I do think they're all like the ones that we're gonna be caring about in Secret Invasion though have will be having sinister motives. Like again, to get that shit, like to get weapons, to get what they need to make a new home. All right, but look, let's go over this trailer real quick. Um, talk about some things I liked from it and didn't like from it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and play the trailer. Do I have to play trailer? You know what? I'm gonna play it on mute. I'm gonna play it on mute while I talk about the movie. Cause I'm gonna be real here, and I'm gonna end this Q&A. Oh, Sam, Daredevil, and Ant Man says, Jared, that's good. That's a good combo. I'm gonna end this shit here and ask y'all this. I don't want to start another Q&A. I want to ask a poll. Damn it! I want to get out the poll. Mr. Anderson, Neo, what is popping, dog? Did we say Janet Van Dyne? We didn't. I do think everybody in Ant Man is shaky. I just don't have Janet on there though. Are you? I think this is a very interesting way to put it. I think that's a very interesting way to put the question. I don't want to ask, are you hype? I don't want to ask, are you going to go? Janet would be a very good option, though. Are you expecting the Marvels to be good? So far, we're at 100% now. All right, look. Here's the thing. See a lot of people saying like the Marvels is like it looks fun. See a lot of people say the trailer look cool, but also like the trailers don't do shit, dog. Like this trailer does no type of explaining. Now it does look. I am gonna give Rhett the credit here. I'm gonna give Rhett the credit here. Oh man, Lord Vito with the $5 super chat. Sorry, I can't get it to pop up. But Lord Vito says, "Don't forget to show love." Link pinned in the comments. I did have it pinned in the comments. It ain't pinned there no more though. But it's in the description for super chats. I can't get it to show up on the screen because I'm not in Streamlab. Um, but thank you for the love, Lord Vito. Thank you for the love. But Red Griffin says it does look better than the first one, but it's still not great. And that is very much facts. It does look a lot better than the first one. Looks better than Thor Love and Thunder. What we know now from Quantumania, it looks better than Quantumania. It doesn't look as good as what Wakanda Forever did look like from the trailer, or what we know of Wakanda Forever. it just looks like it's gonna be a pretty like solid movie, right? Let me ask. We're gonna keep going through it. Oh, I got one person expecting it to be good though. Okay, I say no, but it can be good. Does not have to be anything special. Just a bit better than the first Captain Marvel. I don't think it'll be Thor: Love and Thunder bad. I don't think it will either. The trailer was trash. I don't think the trailer was trash. I don't think it was trash just because it looked cool. And it is funny. Like one thing I noticed, if you notice, like these trailer shots were kind of shot in a way that they could put the whole entire trailer on a short and vertical form. Like, am I tripping? Like, they had perfectly mapped out shots for people to take and transform into the vertical 180, 1080p shit, right? So I thought that was pretty cool to have the like. I think they're starting to take that more into effect whenever they're making these trailers, because the trailer didn't necessarily have those like tight shots in it, and it didn't have a bunch of like jump, jump, jump shits. So I actually like enjoy the first one. The first one is very underrated. I will say that the first one is very underrated. My poo looks better though. Yeah, the first one was decent. Like the first one did not fall flat. It looked like a rubber. You think this one did or Ant Man Quantumania? Let's see. To be fair, Love and Thunder generally looks good. It's just not. Nah, I don't even think it looks good. Miss Marvel looks kind of annoying. I'm not. Nah, there will be no Miss Marvel slander in here, bro. I actually like Miss Marvel as a character. Like the show won't for me, but I actually like Miss Marvel. I like him. Iman Vellani who's playing her. She seems like a very great person to play this character and someone who's down to play this character for a long, long time. So I'm excited to see that, especially as we're gonna evolve with her, like as she gets older, like how the story of Miss Marvel may become original to the MCU. Like maybe I'd imagine they do it in the comics and age her up in the comics a bit. Um, but I am interested to see like how they move forward with her because she seems like she wants to be a lifer. She seems like she wants to be a lifer for sure. Which they could do some de and shit, but even then, like when you move in the timeline, like these people got to get older in the MCU. Um, so I am interested in like how long she sticks around. But just my overall take on the trailer here. The trailer was solid. Like I would give the trailer like a 7. But what we really need to see in the MCU is some fucking steaks, bro. I need my steaks. Well done. Like we need to have something of a threat of danger in the MCU. Now there is mystery. Like this trailer set up the mystery of what's happening with their powers, and it doesn't look like it's going to be solved until the end of the movie because what we see seems to be the final fight scene in this shot right here. What seems to be the final fight scene, and you see that she has on the bangle that Miss Marvel has on. She has on the possibly the other bangle that Aisha and them were looking for. We're gonna have that mystery of what's happening with their powers. Now, like I haven't really dug into like the some of the breakdown videos I might normally watch or the Easter egg videos that I might normally watch for this trailer. I think I did watch a bit of Paul's, but I don't think it got into much theory. Who did I watch? Was it Paul's or was it New Rocks? Because I don't think Paul did like an actual breakdown when I looked at it. I think his was just reaction. Um, but just the whole thing that's going on with the powers, right? Like, let me know in the chat, like, what do y'all think is happening with their powers? Because it's interesting what Monica had to say about her powers. Let me go back here.
Where's Captain? Looking for Kamala Khan.
All right. Up.
Okay, so our powers are entangled. I can manipulate light energy.
All right. Manipulate light energy. So this is how her power gets involved, right? I definitely think because y'all know how like I am big on hard light. Like I'm big on hard light. I am big on the Noor dimension, like, and what it does to separate, like, the whole multiverse, basically, like what it does to keep timelines in check. So if she's able to manipulate it as well, maybe the Bengals, maybe Miss Marvel is able to push it out or produce it. You know what I mean? Like maybe she serves as a conduit because she's Noor and she's from the Noor, part from the Noor dimension. But also, like when it comes to Monica being able to manipulate the light energy, does that mean she can do something with that power? Okay, so we're heading in the right direction here. So when I said we wanted stakes, this is what I meant. Show the fucking incursion. Like hint at an incursion. Like what's happening here? Like I'm not saying we got to go all out, show the incursion, whatever. But the jump points are an interesting point to me because in my mind, incursions, and I don't know if y'all were here for the stream with Trinity. I think it was the stream with Trinity where I talked about it, or maybe it was the stream with Josh where we talked about incursions and like how I think they go down. And I think incursions go down simply because like a boundary of Noor that separates the multiverse breaks and comes through, right? But it's the jump points using technology that takes you out of that takes you between like the Noor. Here's what I mean. If you think about like where the watcher was watching the multiverse, he's in between the space and he's able to bounce back and forth throughout the multiverse because he's looking through one piece of Noor and then going to another piece of Noor. He pretty much has the whole entire universe in his pocket. Could jump points be using a similar technology to where you go from one spot and you technically go out of time to enter in through another piece, like you break through another piece of that hard light of that Noor like border, and you end up in your area. Now, like that type of technology wouldn't have caused an incursion throughout the whole entire MCU because there's no multiverse to cause an incursion from. But if you have all of these multiverses using jump points of similar technology and they're jumping through the same type of area, then I think eventually that could cause and lead to incursions. So maybe the jump point malfunctioning could be a symptom of incursions. But the thing is, we haven't seen incursions since what was that? What came out of my joint? Okay. All right, cool. We haven't seen incursions. Is something getting unplugged? Something's getting unplugged in my computer and it's freaking me out. We haven't seen incursions since Multiverse of Madness. And what was that, like 2020? Bro, why is it so? Oh, okay. 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 My computer's just wild right now. We haven't seen incursions since Multiverse of Madness. And that was like what, 2020, 2021, right? But we need stakes, bro. We need stakes and we need stakes in the trailer. I'm talking I'm talking medium stakes. Like, I mean, shit, I like my steaks medium, but we need these shits well done, bro. Like these sheets need to be out there with the stakes, like of what's actually happening, what's actually at risk. So if, bro, Multiverse of Madness was 1 year ago. Are you shitting me? Has it really only been 1 year since Multiverse of Madness? Are you shitting me, bro? That shit feels like it's been years. It feels like it's been years, bro. It feels like it's been years since Multiverse of Madness has come out. Wow, I'm tripping. But either way, it feels like with all these MCU projects that's been coming out. And let me rephrase that shit. It feels like since all these MCU projects been coming out, there's been a minute since incursions have been on the mind. I would have liked for them to like kind of tease that out. Maybe that's something that we get more so in it's crazy, bro. Maybe it's something that we get more so in like the next trailer of them like teasing out incursions. but I really like for them to like kind of build up the stakes in there. I think it could get bumped up. Now, yep. Okay. Until in the basement. I don't know if you've heard me say that before, but that's basically my thoughts. That's basically my thoughts. Where are we at here? How do you think their powers will compare? How do you think they will compare their powers to stop the right? So to answer that question, like I think all of them have very interesting skill sets to be able to come together and form like the Mega Mind or what they were doing and the whole shit to stop the incursion. And like I really hope they build this up because I really like for an incursion to go down between the 838 and the 616. And you have Monica Rambeau who can see light. Like she can see the rays, she can manipulate light energy. She can see like cosmic energy. I think Monica Rambeau is somebody who can spot an incursion happening, an incursion point. So when she's going out there to look at the jump points, she's manipulating that light energy, that hard light energy, to see what's happening with it and going on with it. Now, when you look at Kamala Khan, Kamala Khan has the ability to be able to produce hard light. And if you think of my theories, again, if you think about theory of how these timelines work, right? Let me come out of here. Let me just go to Disney Plus. And excuse me, y'all. Like I hate coughing in the mic. Let me just go Loki real quick. Just to like really, well, you know what? Multiverse. Loki might explain it. Loki might best help you picture it best. All right. So I'm thinking like all of these brands that branch out and like how the Kangs like have things set up that these multiverse, you see how these multiverses out here, they all have strands. Like each one of these are like bits of strands here. Like just TLD on my theory. Like I think all of these strands make a reality. All of these strands house dimensions. You have the chaos dimension somewhere near here that forms reality. You have the dark dimension that probably brings it balance. You have the dimension that Doctor Strange uses for magic, and I'm not sure what dimension that come from. You got the dimension that of Ta Lao. Not sure what power they would have in there. But then also, like you have, I think what is called what Nor will be is what keeps these things in check. What keeps these things in bound. So if you think of a river, if you think of these of timelines as a current, basically the Noor is like a bank of the river, right? The Noor is like the bank of the river, and it allows the river to flow without going over the bank. Now, with that being said, let's go here to what if. Let's go here to what if.
Changed since the last time you were.
I'm going to mute this. All right, let me not get my shit taken off. All right. Now here's what I use to support that theory. All right, we're getting sweaty on a topic that I wasn't expecting to get sweaty on. But here's what I use to support that theory. It's here. It's clear, bruh. This shit is hard light. This stuff right here is hard light. It's what Doctor Strange has used to stop his incursion from going over into that other timeline in the episode where she split the timelines and the incursion that's happening within that one timeline. I think he did save that universe, the actual universe, that um the other one that the ancient one split off. I think he did save that universe by containing the incursion and destroying his own, right? But long story short, clear that Hardlight has the power to manipulate the multiverse, to do something with these timelines. So in my mind, boom. When you think about jump points, you see what I'm saying about jump points? Like when you have one multiverse, you could possibly like when you have one universe and they're using jump points, they're maybe going from here to here and ending up by a car or some shit like that, right? And they're just traveling through this void. And we got that point there. I want to go back to the trailer. Damn it, I'm getting way more sweaty because I'm getting into like that that hadn't fleshed out yet. But when we look at what Monica is doing here, all right, this spot where Monica is, you see, you got this one side here. Like, yeah, I think it's hard like that holds it all together. You got this one spot here, and then you got a whole other side over here. And Monica looks like a speck. So to where us in the other shot where you see the watcher in that void, and he looks huge in that void, like Trev says, and I think he was saying it to kind of help me out with my point, but like Trev says, he is there. Like he is big in that shit, right? But to me, like this kind of looks visually like the void that the watcher was in. You got this wall and this wall. I can't get close to see what this shit is. But maybe it's a form of this live action look of what that void he was in there could be related to that shit. I know I wouldn't I wouldn't expect you, Trev. Wouldn't expect you to think that this is it at all. But this is my long version, like explaining the science of it theory. Look up the bleed. Is that what it is? I've heard of the bleed, but I'm not that familiar with the bleed. I haven't gotten that sweaty in the comic side of things yet. But I'll look it up. Let me look it up real quick. A barrier between. Okay. Okay. And that's what I think this is a version of. Okay, Trev. See, that's what I think that is a version of in the MCU. Like the spot where that's essentially what I'm thinking. It allowed you to like jump between the gap of the multiverse. And that's how I think jump points could be explained how it works. Is that it basically just jumps from one gap over the other gap within the universe. And they were tapping into it when you had one timeline, but it could go all over the place. But I do think it's a similar thing to what the bleed is explained to be. But doesn't this shot like now I was thinking about maybe working on it, like trying to figure out a way to make a short out of it because it's such a wide shot. But this shot just reminds me so much of like we want to refer to it as a bleed. This is what it may look like to the human eye. So damn, I'm far off from where we were that question with the first question. But yeah, like this is what I think we could be looking at and how the incursion happens and what the incursion looks like. Let me go back to where I was with what if. Now, I wish I could put them up on the screen. Yeah, like we could very well be in the bleed here. I'm gonna call it the bleed because that's what Trev said to call it. So I'm gonna call it the bleed, even though we're not talking about but um but yeah, like it's the same color, it's a different type of look. Like even if you look over here, like it kind of has that specs. So if we're looking from animation to live action, it's possible. But what I'm getting at with this is when this boundary breaks, and we know that this boundary breaks because we see it break in the show. I'm trying to see where we see it break at. Bear with me here. I'm pulling up to the spot. Boom. All right, I'm going to try not to get bad. That's perfect. That's perfect. All right, bad. So it's clear, like from the bleed, you can get broken into here. So let's think about it this way: like when you go from jump point to jump point, it kind of does just look like you're getting pulled out from the sky. This is probably like technology that's manipulating the shit. I'm talking my way through it. So as Monica is able to go out and read and check on the jump point, possibly even try to fix it with by manipulating her light energy, she's looking at this like it. When you go through a jump point, it's a technology that opens up that hard light and allows you to go through there. So all three are going to have huge roles coming forward. It is. Um, so in this case, if there was another universe that had a crack in it, I feel as if that cosmic energy, and if we think back to like the way the timelines were, and if you think of again, you got like an energy current stream. Let's say the mic is an energy current, right? And this is hard light, hard light. They're serving as banks on this cosmic current river, right? So if one breaks, then the river is going to flow out of there and flood into something else. Now, if that river, this is a cosmic current river, if that river begins to flood and hits another wall, and that wall floods, then you got these rivers going back and forth. Possibly. Like I don't know if that's how hydraulics work, but you got these rivers clashing. And that clashing creates the incursion. Um, so to answer that question a while back, and I know we might have gotten like a little bit too sweaty, and I feel bad for talking this shit out because I haven't necessarily fleshed out that theory when it comes to when it comes to the Marvels. Long story short, I do think we have a situation to where Kamala Khan can produce hard light to stop incursions. Monica Rambeau can use her power to be able to spot incursions. And Captain Marvel can serve as an energy generator. Because when you think about, I don't know if y'all peeped my like video on infinite cosmic energy, but like the Eternals have infinite cosmic energy. They tap into it from it's what they were imbued with, infinite cosmic energy from the Celestials. Like Celestials made them to be able to tap into an infinite source of cosmic energy. And it's possible that Miss Marvel has that same type of cosmic energy power when she goes binary, tapping into that type of cosmic energy there to be able to power up those two to be able to stop the incursion. Now, how I would love for it to happen is Monica ends up in the 6-1 in the 818. I mean in the 838. Kamala winds up staying in the 616 with the Avengers, and then you have um what's her name in the bleed of what? I'm gonna start calling it the bleed now. Oh, Trev. But you have Monica in the bleed. I mean, have Carol in the bleed, and that leaves ways for her to bump into people like Doctor Strange or like the Watcher, right? It just leaves her stuck out there and kind of leads her into a much more cosmic path for her story and for Secret Wars, if that's where we're still headed to Secret Wars. But yeah, that's my whole thought on like I am interested because I do think they'll work on the jump points may cause the incursion. Now that it was brought up, like that is a possibility that they'll work on the jump points could cause the incursion. Them messing with that hard light could break the hard light surface and cause the incursion that they have to stop. I would just love to see like visually how the incursion starts and to have it go down. And that to me is a draw that could bring people into Captain Marvel. Now I know the rumors are that like they kind of pull back on the incursion stuff. I definitely just hope that's not true because I feel like again that would be a huge draw um to the Marvels. But to move right along here, can we talk about Guardians of the Galaxy? I haven't read this article really, to keep it a buck, but I have seen the story. Let me pause this shit. But I have seen the story. I just want to go over and read it with you guys, and let's just talk real briefly about it because I probably got like 20 more minutes in here. All right. So let's talk about that. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3 is set for course for a $125 million plus opening box office early projections. Marvel's James Gunn's Marvel Swan Song is on track to trump his 2014 debut, but came in below the 146.5 million opening. It's worth noting that early box office projections, which are released by trackers 3 weeks before film's premiere, well, we're 3 weeks out from Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. That's wild. Um, can greatly can differ greatly from the pre-release projections just before the film hits theaters, whether it's due to the success or failure of the film's marketing, how early social media buzz and critics' reviews affects audience interest and other factors. But for now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is predicted for an opening weekend lower than Volume 2, which opened at 146.5 million in May of 2017. It would also mean that the 146.3 million 3-day opening weekend of Super Mario Brothers would retain its status as the highest opening weekend of 2023. And just a quick side note, um, I went to go see Mario Brothers. It's my first time taking my daughter to movie theaters. I went to go see Mario Brothers, and I can see why the movie's not great from like story standpoint. It's very simple, but it's supposed to be. And I hope a lot of these other places, like I'm not anti woke. I am not woke. I'm just someone who wants to enjoy fucking content without getting shit pushed down my throat. Especially when it comes to kids. I can digest that shit. I can digest, but this movie had no kiss scene. It had no messaging. It was Mario was just a straight up movie. And it deserves every bit of praise and recognition that it gets for what it's getting at. So, like, I really hope that people see that because I'm not taking my daughter to go see the Little Mermaid because I don't know what type of bullshit Disney's going to put in there. It's supposed to be for kids. Like, I don't know how deep they're going to get into these intimate scenes. Like, it feels like they might get grown with some stuff. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. But wait, was there mid or post credit scene? But anyway, like I just hope a lot. That was a quick side note, quick side tangent. I just hope a lot of. I hope they take notes from that to say like, hey, dial back on this shit. Just dial back on it. Like it's not that deep, especially when it comes to kids movies. Especially when it comes to kids movies, because I like that. I probably take her to see the Trolls movie, but I definitely probably want to take her to see the Elements movie because I feel like it's going to get into some things with kids that I just don't want to get into with my daughter. There were mid and post credit scenes. Yeah, I didn't watch. Like we got out with my kid. I didn't get to stay for him. What were they? You can just tell me what it were, or if you don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I didn't get to stay for it because my daughter, it was her first time in the movies and she was ready to be out. She was tired by the end. She's 5. I give her the benefit of the doubt. But we were kind of sitting there like through the first credits and we were like, all right, let's get out because she wanted to take a nap like at the last 5 minutes. I'm like, nah, keep your ass up. Like it's the realest shit right here. But nah, let's get back to this shit. Basically, what they're saying is going to be coming in lower than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So let me ask y'all this in a poll. And poll it up. Is would it be bad? Would it be bad if Volume 3 made less than Volume 2? And I'll go ahead and give y'all my answer now. I don't think it's that bad because when you think about Guardians of the Galaxy, you think about where they were from like a brand, right? From the first one, they had no name. People didn't know who they were, like they didn't know what to expect. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is a classic. A very special place in my heart, very special place in my life. What's going on, Reefer Man? What's going on, Reefer Man? It has a very special place in my life as far as my my wife loves Guardians of the Galaxy. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy when my daughter was being born. Um, just because like that's a movie that she loves and like it like put her at ease, like she was chilling with it. So I get where going from Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you would have more money coming into Guardians of the Galaxy 2. But the problem is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with some booty cheeks. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with some trash. So I'm talking like bottom third MCU. I like to do my MCU in thirds. Like you got the top third, your middle third, and your bottom third, right? To me, Guardians of the Galaxy is bottom third. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is bottom third MCU. So with that being said, I can see how hype for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 wouldn't be on base level set to bring in the amount that you got from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. One, because we're not coming off of that good of a movie of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Two, we're not at the same place where we were in Guardians of the Galaxy. We're not at the same place in the MCU. We're just not. Like phase 4 has taken its toll on people watching MCU movies. Not only that, like to keep it 100, I'm not all the way back in the movie theater yet. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I've been going to the movies to see these movies in the movie theater. I was I want to go back to watching the movies at my crib. I want to go back to being able to pay $30 and getting the movie like I did Black Widow and watching it at my crib. I am not really having a great experience going to movie theaters to see the movie in theaters. It's just not. Like for me, it is just not hitting, bro. It is what it is. And I really saw that. Like, my wife is like my barometer for Normies. Like, she's watched all the MCU movies and everything like that. But it was no problem for me to get her out to the movie theater before the pandemic. It was no problem whatsoever. I think the last movie that she went to go see in person was Multiverse of Madness. Let me double check and see what I believe the last one she saw was Multiverse of Madness in person. And I know I like earlier, like I felt like that was a long time ago. Actually, she did not go see Multiverse. Yes, she did. She wanted to go see Multiverse of Madness in person. She didn't go see the Eternals. She went to go Shang-Chi. She did not go to see Multiverse of Madness. She didn't. Okay. She didn't go see Multiverse of Madness. I couldn't get her to go see that. She didn't go see Wakanda Forever. Um, she did see. I think the last one she did see was No Way Home. And like I think since then she's been like, I'm not going back to the movies. We wanted to take my daughter to wanted to take my daughter to movie theaters for once. So like she came for that, like to see it out. But even then in a 1 hour and 30-minute movie, she was ready to go. She was tired of just sitting there. And I don't think she's alone. I do not think she's alone. Like I'm sitting there in these movies because I have to, I feel like, because there's no other way I'll see these movies and I really want to see them. But I think the box office is like, I know we've had our $1 billion movies. I know we've had some success. Talk about Mario knowing when to drop a movie on spring break week to where you're gonna like these next Mario movies. Like when I went to go see Mario on a Monday at 12 o'clock, kids were out of school. And I tell you, like the movie theater that I go to on Thursdays to see a Marvel movie premiere at 3:30, and there's like 3, 4 people in there on a Monday to see Mario, people was in there. Like, it was, like, halfway, like, packed. Like, it was the most I've seen that movie theater in particular in a while. But that's because people wanna take their kids to the movies. Like, we feel like it's a dying shit. Like, you wanna take your kids to see the movies. But this shit, you're not really feeling it. Um, so, yeah, I think that's definitely gonna impact it. Also, well, again, like, just where we are in the MCU, is not must watch anymore. It's not to where it used to be, like I would say from Civil War on, for normies, Marvel movies were must watch, kinda, right? Like, even Ant-Man and the Wasp was must watch. Like, Captain Marvel was kinda must watch because it was wedged between the 2 biggest movies of all time in comic book movie history. Marvel doesn't have that anymore. On top of people really not just, I think, fucking with the movies anymore. So you mix those 2 together, I think we are looking at a spot where it's not gonna make as much as it made as the last one made in the opening weekend. Now, what will save it is if it is good, right? Like, if it is, like, phenomenal. I know, like, what happens with me, I go to go see a movie, I come back and try to convince my wife to go see it. I know what happens with a lot of people. I wouldn't say from Winter Soldier on. I wouldn't say from Winter Soldier on, chilling in the basement. Because, I don't think a lot of people viewed Age of Ultron as, like, that huge draw to come see. You know what I mean? Or Iron Man. Iron Man 3 come out after Winter Soldier. Like, I don't know. I would stop there. I don't think I would say that for Winter Soldier. Back where I was at though. I'm getting taken off. Um I just don't think it's gonna reach. I just don't think they're gonna get to the goals they want to get to. I don't think they're gonna get to where they want to get, where they want to go with this movie. But all that being said, like if it's great and it brings word of mouth, I think people are gonna circle back around to it. I think it will go up. It might have a great like second weekend. It won't have a second weekend like Quantumania had, but I think it'll have a pretty good second weekend to help the movie out. That's just where I'm at with it. But overall, like I'm hyped to see how this movie's gonna turn out. Like it looks pretty fun. The storyline looks contained, but I am excited to see what's happening with Adam Warlock and what the new Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna look like, right? Because I definitely think there's gonna be a new lineup of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think everybody's gonna die per se, but we're gonna have a new lineup. People are gonna go their separate ways, I think. And they're gonna have a couple of people try to hang on to it. So I dig Age of Ultron too. I just don't think it was that big of a draw, like a must-watch thing. Um, like once Black Panther came into the fray, once you got Black Panther and Spider-Man introduced in Civil War, that made it be like, we gotta go watch this shit. All right. So that's out the way. I got 10 minutes to talk about Mando before my wife come down here. We've been going for damn. Can I talk really that much to be going for an hour and 57 minutes at this point? All right, look, let me end the poll. Let me ask y'all this question in the poll. Yo, hey, you just realized it's called a sweatshop. Look, I'm not even gonna cap Smokey Kenobi. Like, I was kind of like on the border of whether or not I should call this a sweatshop or not, bro. Like, it makes sense, like, for it to be the sweatshop. Like, because it's like you get sweaty, but then like it's kind of fucked up. I don't know. I'm not big. If the shit, if the shit goes up to that point, I might have to change it on the sweatshop. I don't know. You with it? All right, cool. That shit. Yeah, I just had that thought myself though. Like when I was like, what will I call it? I was like, oh fuck it. Oh fuck it. You know. Let me ask y'all this though. What's your favorite season of Mando? What is your favorite season of Mando? Oh, the Sweat House could be good. MCU sauna, I like that. I like that. All right, here now. So look, let me just get to a good stopping point. A good shot. What would be a good shot to just sit this shit on? Boom. I just sit it right here. You know what? I'll sit it on Grogu. Boom. I'll sit it right there. I'll sit it right there. Yeah. We're not gonna get any votes. Like, I feel like if we get any votes for season 3, like I just got questions. Um, there's definitely something I like reach out to the main gang, Al and Lavis, because I know they're fucking with the season. I'm not, bro. Like, I'm just not. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm liking the episodes, but I'm just not liking them as much as I like the episodes in season 1. And definitely like not the amount that I liked season 2. Here's the thing, like season 2 was fucking magical, bro. Season 2 was out of this world. I can drop like again, my wife is my normie barometer. I can drop season 2, my wife into season 2, and she's encapsulated in that shit. But season 3 just doesn't have that sauce. But it's not even like that because I'm cool with it if season 3 was like even up to par with season 1. Because my gripes that I have with season 1, my gripes that I've had with the whole thing of like Mando in itself with season 1 was that it felt like it was moving too slow, right? Like it felt like it wasn't enough happening around the thing for season 1 to really be like that. But then season 2 happened, and the only type of fluff that I felt like we got was that ant episode with the frog lady. Other than that, it felt like season 2, everything was on par, bruh. You come to season 3 has done the best job of moving the story, like of giving us a story. Like at least season 3 is like giving us things that are happening. Like conversations are being had, things are going down, movement is being made in the story. Like we're getting Thrawn mentioned. Bo-Katan has a dark saber now. Even like, and that shit doesn't really bother me that she has it. It's just how it happened. Like the things that are happening in the story are like cool, but it's not giving me the same feeling that I got from what's going on, Carl? I didn't even know you in here. It's not giving me the same feeling that I got from the previous 2 seasons. It's just not. And I saw Trinity put on Twitter earlier that I saw Trinity put on Twitter earlier that Lil Wick might have a big deal to do with it, and he does because Lil Wick and the music really brought me into the atmosphere of the Mandalorian. Like that is a very valid point. But on the other hand, it's more than just the music, bro. It's like just how this shit is going down. Just how this shit is going down. Like to me, this episode was a 7, but it had everything in it to be a 10. Like if you were to tell me that Grogu gets the mech suit, that we get Thrawn teased, that um Moff Gideon they walk into a trap and Moff Gideon's on an Imperial base, and the episode ends with Din being separated, being captured and separated from Grogu, past Bizla dying. We get to understand how Bo lost the dark saber to Moff, right? Like we get all of that. And you get a conversation with Moff Gideon from the spy, like the confirmation that she's the spy. And notice that the title of it is Spies, and we'll get into that in a second. If you told me all that was happening, that's a 10 out of 10. But because of how we saw it go down, or how we didn't see shit go down, it gets to be a 7 because it just doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit, bruh. And like I don't know why. Like I do know why because I'm a huge Marvel fan of the MCU, right? Like I'm reading. Like I hate saying huge Marvel fan because then like I read all the comics, but I am reading my comics. Like shit, I'm reading more than say most more than some people. I'm fucking reading, but we get back on track. I can see how some people are saying like, "Yo, but all of this stuff is happening." Like, I can see how that stuff happening blinds you. Like, just off the conversation, and you know what they're setting up blinds you. But, bruh, I hate taking takes from people, but I would just say this shit. Like, it's poor execution, and what the homie Josh was saying yesterday, I think, was a word that like I think only film people use that I never really thought to use. But it is all being done through exposition, right? Like, and I'm not gonna like rehash his takes, but bruh, like that shit is valid. Like, we're not seeing any of this shit. We're not seeing any of this stuff that's taking just as what's been the best parts of the season so far? Like the biggest talks of the seasons of this season on social media has been Grogu being rescued, which was a flashback, and has been Zeb. So that's been the biggest buzz of the season. Which to me, the biggest buzz should be a scene of seeing Moff Gideon getting the dark saber from Bo and saying "fuck you" and bombing Mandalore anyway, right? That should have been one of the bigger parts of the season. But instead, we get more fucking talking. Like all of this talking, dog. Like it's really pissing me off that we're not seeing this stuff go down. And I think it's been like just poorly executed in the way. Um, that's just in my take. Like I think that the episode would have been more elevated. Now, other than that, like I said, I like the things that are happening. I like the things they're talking about, and I like where they're headed. So it's not like I'm off the show. I'm down on the show. The show is just not giving me the magic that we got from season 2. And to be honest, I'm getting Book of Boba vibes from this show. Remember when we watched the Book of Boba? You had the Mandalorian episodes. Those 2 episodes felt like completely different shows. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I right? Those 2 episodes of The Mandalorian that was in Book of Boba felt like worlds apart of different episodes, even though it was in the same series. Am I right? Chat. Fist in the chat, just let me know. Am I right? That shit did not feel nothing like Book of Boba. If we think about this shit, this season feels nothing like those 2 episodes. This season doesn't feel like the book. Like this season doesn't feel like Mando. This season feels like Book of fucking Boba. And again, Book of Boba has some cool stuff going down in it too. Like episode 2 was straight. The 2 Mando episodes was dope. And I'm not saying quality wise, bro. I'm not saying quality wise. I'm saying feel, vibe, look is not as polished as what we come accustomed to getting from season 2 and season 1 of The Mandalorian. It is just not. It is not as flawless and it's not as polished. And I don't think the issue is Bo-Katan at all. Like I like Bo-Katan a lot. Like I like what they're doing with Bo-Katan. I do have a little bit of issue of I need to go back and rewatch her in Clone Wars. This issue of kind of elevating her to be something that I don't really remember her as. Like I don't really remember Bo-Katan as being this great person in Clone Wars. I don't like. I just that's not how I remember her as. Like if they want to raise her up to be the true leader and all that shit, that's fine. But that's not my memory. Like that's not what I associate Bo-Katan as. Like of being that person that I would look to go follow and all that shit. But that's my issue. It's like it's just it doesn't. It's lighter, bro. Like we have a lot more scenes where it's light and bright. That's one way that it feels like more like Book of Boba, to where like you remember even the scenes that we had in the Mando episode with Luke, the tone, like just the whole, like maybe the iris was down a little bit more, or maybe just the whole, like it wasn't as fucking like bright. But this is fucking this is fucking bright. Like if they're not in a cave or flying through a storm, this shit is fucking bright in in this season of Mando. And it's just taking me out of the allure of what we got in the first two seasons. So again, like I said, I get this episode 7. Like I think this episode had a bunch of stuff, but the fight scenes weren't even that dope. Like I know fighting happened and we can see blasters go off, but the fight scenes weren't even that dope. And I'll tell you one thing I really think is taking me out of it with the Mandalorians, and I might catch some flack for this. But do y'all remember when they were like they have a bunch of fans playing the Mandalorians? Do y'all remember that? There's like they have a whole bunch of like fan fits. And I think these people that are playing the Mandalorians that like have non-speaking roles of Mandalorians are fans. That's a huge problem to me because when I'm looking at these Mandalorians, they don't match the idea of what I have as Mandalorians when I see them. I see a whole bunch of scrawny looking Mandalorians in fits. And it's like, yeah, y'all look like fans. Y'all look like y'all don't train for this shit. See you later, Parker. They look like they don't train for this shit, bro. So when you do have these scenes of a whole bunch of Mandalorians shooting, it doesn't inspire me to think. Like it just takes me out of it. Like these like so I mean like their speaking people are obviously there. But like look at these guys. I have no fear in these people. I mean, it would make sense how a clan of warriors seems so not, right? Like these dudes do not look like warriors. They just look like fans in fits, bro. And that's exactly what they are, fans in fits. They're not people who work out for this shit. They're not people who work out to be actors or to be extras. These look like fans in fits, and it's playing off in the show. It's playing off in the mystique of that Mandalorian. Like it's just to me, it's killing the mystique of the Mandalorian. And I get it. Like everybody in every Mandalorian is not gonna be a brolic looking motherfucker. But if they're training as much as they're supposed to be training, they don't look like this. They don't look like this, bro. So like, I know it feels like a minor gripe, but to be honest, when a lot of minor things happen, it feels like it takes you out of the show a little bit. Like it adds up and it's taking me out of the show. It seems like they only care how close it compares to Star Wars Celebration in general. So like, all right, lightsabers and the cosplay. Yeah, like it's just not like vibing with me, bro. It just isn't vibing with me. That's another thing too. Like Grogu's training, like, like bro, like continue the Grogu training. Are we not seeing it? Like Grogu stepping up. Like I do like the whole no shit and like what they're doing. Like, is that their way of solving him not talking? Like that shit was cool. Like I fuck with it. I fuck with seeing Grogu in the Jank. All right, like I really do. Like I fuck with seeing Grogu in the Jank. But like it's just again, it's not the same to me as what I've come accustomed to with the Mandalorian. It's just not the same. Oh, I like this view. I like this view a lot. Maybe just because I'm bigger. Um, but yeah, just real quick, just to talk about where we're headed, and I really got to get out of here. What I did like from the episode is what it sets up, setting up Thrawn coming back. I don't think Thrawn knows how to come back yet, or maybe he's not ready to come back yet, but he's coming back, and I like how that was alluded to. Um, I just leave it there. Like my theories, I have one where I can see them getting rid of Gideon, and then Ahsoka warning everyone that Thrawn is coming. Either Ahsoka warning people that Thrawn is coming, or Thrawn coming and Ahsoka knows what's up. Either or. But Ahsoka's definitely searching for Thrawn. So hmm. Thrawn could be back and in hiding, but I don't see him hiding. I just don't see him being somebody who'd be in hiding. But I love how they set up how Thrawn is coming back. The spies, like the episode is called The Spies. And it has the armorer there. What do y'all think? Do you think the armorer is a spy? All right, because we clearly know who one spy is. How many spies are there? We clearly know who one spy is. It's a homegirl from there. Which would explain a lot. You think the armorer served Maul, but that would not lead the armorer to want to be on Moff Gideon's side. I guess it would. It depends on who she got more beef with. I mean, she has horns. I know the new armor that Moff Gideon has horns, but she's a scroll. She very well could be a scroll. MCU Star Wars crossover. But who made that, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think the armorer has time to be a spy from what we see. But maybe she does. She gets into a whole bunch of shit that we don't see on camera. She did volunteer to go. She did volunteer to leave planet before shit went down. I was thinking her. I think also it could be that what if the Mandalorian that were on the planet already like are tied into this shit? You know what I mean? Like were those Mandalorians leading them into a trap? Like they were like, we can take you there, but they don't know that there's a whole Imperial base there. I don't know, like that. I'm between I am between the armor and the Mandalorians that were on that planet. But the Mandalorians on that planet is who I'm really leaning towards the most. Because again, their whole actions were sus. And it's possible that those Mandalorians were the ones who busted my man's out, who busted Thrawn out. Who knows? We'll see her do some shit when she gets back on the ship. Maybe a cold open. Yeah, maybe a cold open. But like the thing is, like, I don't think she got back up there in time to be able to be like they're here. Like, to be able to like give some intel. Making sense is not necessarily the way for that's facts. He would like I feel like Gideon would definitely know if people were still on that planet. But yeah, I like thinking about the spot, and then I'll get into the ending, and then I definitely gotta get out of here after that. The ending of the episode, I really I have no problem with Den being captured on one condition. On one condition. I have no problem with Den being captured on one condition. And that is if Grogu goes absolute ham this next episode. I don't want to see Bo coming to save Den. I don't want to see the clan being the one responsible for saving Den. I want to see Grogu damn near kill somebody with the Force and saving Den. That's the only way I'm cool with Den. Grogu reacted. Grogu was hitting the no button. Grogu reacted. But yeah, that's the only way I'm cool with seeing Den being captured. Like I don't want to see Bo coming back to save them and everything like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. Like I'm not on the band. I'm not on the train to where I think Den is gonna die. But I'm also not writing that off as a possibility. Right? Like I don't think he's gonna die, but I'm not writing it off as a possibility. Anything is possible at this point. Anything is possible then. But yeah, I need Grogu going ham. I need Grogu going ham. Because what this show was drew me in was like those two. And we didn't get a lot from those two this season. And I think that would be a lot to have Den say like him save Den, or even to have him try and save Den. And if Den dies, but we get to see Grogu go ham, I'm cool with that. I just do not want to see Bo saving Den because then it really becomes Bo's show. If the season finale is Bo saving Den, then it's like, bruh, they should have made instead of making Book of Boba Fett, make a Bo-Katan show. Then I wouldn't have been so upset with featuring having Din Djarin taking a backseat in that show. And then Din Djarin doesn't have to be all up in the show in the future. We can still have the Mandalorian doing his own thing, and you can have Bo doing her own shit with the show, uniting the race of Mandalore. Either way, like Star Wars ain't my sandbox. And I usually say I'll leave it alone because I know people get a little uptight. But to be real, only the reals of the reals is still here right now. So, we keep it real with the conversation. But with that being said, I've gone way too long. Shout out to the wifey for letting me go like an hour longer than what I would usually want to go. But with that being said, much love to everybody in here. Let me check and make sure I don't have no more super chats. I think we're good. Shout out to Vito for the super chat today. I appreciate the love, Vito. Hope you see this later. But anyway, for everybody that's here, I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much for being here. We'll be back next Thursday. Actually, I may have a funeral. I am actually not going to be able to stream on Thursday. I may move the stream up to Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Or I might just have to call this. I got to stream next week sometime because we got to keep up this consistency of once a week. So just hit that notification bell to know when we're streaming. But every Thursday night at 8:30 is the time. Just next Thursday, I will not be able to make it. I got a funeral to go to. Bro, death has been hitting my area hard. Like they say death come in threes, and the day I found out about my third death, I'm in like the whole family circle. So going to be going up to a funeral that's on Friday, and I won't be able to stream on Thursday because I'll be on my way up there. But yeah, the next guest, if I can get it arranged, maybe move up to Wednesday. I'm gonna be having. I don't know if y'all are hip with the Geeky Cast, but I love the Geeky Cast leaks. He's agreed to come on the show for a Sweatshop show. So I want to be talking about like Phase 5, really like what's going on with these Hulks, like what's going on like leading up to Secret Wars. And who knows, maybe some Jonathan Majors news will pop up before then, and it becomes a much bigger stream than what I have planned. But either way, stay tuned, hit that notification bell because we may be streaming next Wednesday. But if we don't get it next Wednesday, if we don't do anything next week, will be back your Thursday after, and we will be going ham over The Mandalorian, over more MCU stuff. So yeah, like I said, hit the notification bell so you know we're streaming, and I will see you in the next bit. Got 15 seconds of bars. We getting out of here because we went hard. We went for way too long, but now I gotta go home. Damn, if you don't come down here, getting out. I swear, see y'all in the next one right here. Damn it, I'm still here.